When people think about Bobcat Goldthwait, they usually think of this.
$8!
Business is slow.
Get a new business or move out of the neighborhood!
Well, in reality, he's very calm and soft-spoken.
Please. I always want a high five, Jordan. No? Okay.
Well, no, I just don't high five.
Okay.
That was in the God Bless America.
Okay.
That was one of the things that they. I do mental high fives.
All right. That's even better.
Season 0!
You hurt my brain.
Because I didn't know.
You also hurt my feelings.
I didn't know
Let's
how
go.
high we go. Okay, I'll high five.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
What? That sounds like someone's crying.
In all seriousness, great fucking movie.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know, usually I don't like the found footage stuff. I've been a fan of Bigfoot my whole life. So this is kind of like one of the first interviews we did this year where I actually felt I had something more to say.
To talk about?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always wondered in a found footage movie, like, who edits the found footage? Like, someone says, well, I'm sorry your daughter got raped to death, but if if we recut it, I think we could really make some money here.
We could put some score in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, you don't see that in the woods. There was actually
exactly.
an orchestra behind the tree.
Okay, so how did this project come about?
Since I was a kid, I always was really into Bigfoot, and it really came about with me wanting to go see Willow Creek, where the Patterson-Gimlin footage that's Bigfoot going through the woods, you know. So I wanted to see there, so I drove up there, and then while I was there, I think there's a movie here, hopefully. So.
I guess like a found footage movie costs a shitload less money than a regular movie.
Well, it's weird because ours costs about $40 million, but I think it's all up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I was like, that's fucking possible.
No, so
we spent it all on crack, you see.
Yeah, it's that would have been.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could have bought crack on our budget, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why people are frustrated with found footage, because it's accessible to everybody. So there's a prejudice that comes along with them, but I've only actually seen a handful, so I'm not as jaded about it. It's just a kind of movie. You hope you bring your take on it and try to make it fresh.
There's always this kind of like idea in a found footage movie where the cameraman seems to have this invisible force field around him.
Yeah.
is not susceptible to danger.
But you know, and they always have the line of dialogue. It's like, well, you know, Dave, he loves to film everything, you know.
Did you have to like tell them the film's shittier?
Yeah, a little bit. Bryce, the guy who plays Jim, the guy in the movie, he was a little too good with the camera. So yeah, we had to dial him down. I did learn a few things, you know, like if you tighten the frame up, it does make everything manic, and so I kind of saved that for the end. And
yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah,
as someone who's seen a lot of found footage movies, usually it starts out it's just like found footage.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things I hope that are different in this movie. Like it does have 67 edits all in, and I always wonder why they kept the camera going. And in our movie, it's a little bit by the guy wanting to document what's going on. That's a little part of it, but then the other part is it's
they need a fucking light.
Yeah, exactly. It's a light source. Yeah.
I was wondering, I'm like, wow, they must have the best fucking battery ever.
Yeah, you know, I actually didn't almost. I looked at putting a thing that said that the battery was running out at one point. And it seems so corny, you know, because when the battery does run out on, it's funny, that camera is the camera the movie was shot on.
Fuck off, really?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So
now I know what it's like to see this camera
on the big screen. Well, it's we had like a little LED light that was taped on it. It's pretty high-end gaffing.
That's fucking
project.
awesome, man. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got it done, because like someone at the Q&A asked if you've seen like Boggy Creek.
Yeah, Boggy Creek. Yeah,
Boggy
yeah,
Creek, and then they made Boggy Creek 2,
which is amazing. How bad
how bad it is. Like
Yeah,
they're just
yeah, yeah.
like it's like what they did with Blair Witch 2. It's literally the same thing.
Right,
Let's
yeah.
make a theatrical movie that's not documentation.
Yeah, it's really weird. Edward Sanchez has a Bigfoot movie coming out. So there's like 4.
Sorry, every time you say Sanchez, I think of like
Dirty Sanchez.
I'm like,
Dirty Sanchez has a Bigfoot movie coming out, and I hear it stinks. Pow! Pow! That's why I only do 2 shows.
I also noticed that, like, when you first introduce yourself, you're like, this is the way I actually talk.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
honestly,
this is-
the whole week I was not sure.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
also that weird beat usually with an audience. So like, is that really the guy?
Yeah, that me and him love the fucking movie World's Greatest Dad, and
thanks.
only yesterday did we know it was directed
Oh,
by
really?
you.
Oh, good.
Ernest Hemingway once said, all he wanted to do was write one true sentence. He also tried to scratch an itch in the back of his head with a shotgun. Why don't we do something together tomorrow?
Yeah, like build a rocket?
Sure, if you want to.
That's retarded.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part of your comedy and your range, that in the 80s, like, you were the physical, like, manic guy, and then it's hard to picture, like, behind the camera when Robin Williams is like, yes, my son. He didn't die when hanging yourself and masturbating.
Yeah.
And then I'm picturing you behind the camera. Oh, all right, Robin, that was really good, but you're going to have to do it again.
I do believe that that's what people think I do. It's funny, a lot of the people in World's Greatest Dad are comedians.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be very fun, and then we'd have to say, okay, now let's do the scene where he's dead from jerking off. So I would schedule those scenes after lunch when there would be a good food coma going on.
Nice.
Nerdy is the fact my love of musicals. Maybe I don't know if that's nerdy. It makes me more gay, I guess. But I really love musicals.
Favorite musical then?
Which one?
Well, Cabaret, but I like Oliver a lot. I actually just bought a scalper ticket to see Liza Minnelli and Alan Cummings. I was in the front row, tears streaming down my face. So,
What about you? You ever want to direct a musical?
yeah, I've been working on trying to get this musical based on a Kinks album from the 70s called Schoolboys in Disgrace, and I've been working with Ray Davis and trying to make a musical. So someday, hopefully, my dreams will come true.
Yeah. Have you ever seen like a musical adapted to a film and you're like, oh, you fucking ruined it? Like.
Yeah, it seems like it, because I think sometimes it's like the live element is what makes it exciting, and then when they don't get that right, it's pretty bad.
Also, when they cast actors with really thin voices, like to no end have I heard criticisms on the musical Sweeney Todd comparison to the movie Sweeney Todd.
Right, or Les Mis when Russell Crowe shows up.
A fugitive running, fallen from God.
He reminds me of when you're in high school and then they give like the captain of the football team a role in the play, and all of a sudden
He was a bass. It was so funny. like when he's singing, he's just like,
it was
okay,
really
gladiator, shut up.
And so it must be, for so it is written on the doorway to paradise, that those who falter and those who fall must pay the price.
And that's one of the things, like, working with Ray on this movie that I've been trying to get going. I really want to make sure I do it right. It would be really sad for me to do, what the movie Tommy was, and have him really upset.
Yeah, I got that movie many years ago, and I still haven't gone through it because I don't do drugs.
Yeah, and my wife accuses me of this too. I don't know the difference between a good idea or a bad idea. They're just all ideas, and I treat them with the same amount of enthusiasm, and that's what I think that movie suffers from.
By the way, big fan of your part in Scrooged. Like, I think that's like, I guess they divided Bob Cratchit between two people.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's weird.
Like, this is what Bob Cratchit would have really fucking did. And
Oh, I didn't even think of that. That is true.
yeah,
Yeah,
it would've went fucking
he would have went
postal.
postal, and then that is true. Yeah, it is weird. I would have preferred if they kept it all in one. I would have had a bigger part.
yeah, my girlfriend's a fan of like the vegan zombie, and she saw you on that show.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
Is it because you're vegan yourself, or you know the guy, or?
I know them because my nephew's good friends with them. That's so
Okay.
funny. Yeah, so that's how that happened. That's,
Okay.
Yeah, my nephew. Oh, that's funny.
Are you infected?
Are you Bobcat Goldthwait?
Are those salt potatoes?
Yeah.
Can you say, your name and you're watching season 0, but in that special way that?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. No way? Sure, no problem.
Well, it just, the voice would sound right, but I wouldn't look right. It's like, who's that old dude? This is the 6th movie I've done, and it's not that I'm above doing that, it's just that people have a hard time watching my movies because they think of this guy from Police Academy, so I'd rather not perpetuate that anymore.
No problem. I think that's really honorable, actually, and you're not just one of those guys in Vegas like, remember who I am?
Every rose has its...
Hi, I'm Bobcat Goldthwait. You're watching Season 0. I am probably dead.
Season 0!